Hey everyone, Gage Ryan here to go over my Edison 6 Samurai list. So anybody that's seen any of my old content before knows I absolutely despise 6 Samurai, and I just always have. But I do find the deck to be infinitely more tolerable whenever it's not going, triple Shien every turn, seemingly. This deck plays no Shien, no Inishi, and no Kizan. And, there's no Kageki Kagemusha. There's none of those combos in here. This is like bare bones samurais that still get access to 3 Gateway and 3, United and all that stuff. So it's still solid. It still has all its power cards, so to speak, like in terms of the spell lineup, I guess I should say. But this is way more, I jokingly call it Yaichi control, because it's just one of the main combos. But I would say that if you want to be technical, this is classified as Samurai Field Control. So we'll get into it. First thing is Triple Grandmaster, the best monster in the entire deck by far. It's your only real extender. It works so well with Gateway or United. I mean, if you open like double Gateway and a way to get Grandmaster, you just have like basically infinite counters. It's so good. Grandmaster, I'd probably play 4 if I could, maybe 5. Triple Yaichi, I love this card. Like, every time that someone convinces me to go to 2, I just hate it and I go back to 3. Like, I just love having this, like, early. Like, if you can summon Yaichi and then, like, let's say protect it for a turn, your opponent's going to be afraid to set back row. Because now they know that it's just going to get popped or whatever have you. So, I like Yaichi in this deck quite a bit. And it's definitely one of the, like, is that if you're trying to play around bottomless or something, you're going to want to summon one of your beat sticks first. And then, like, on your next turn, you just summon Yaichi in priority. You guys know how it goes. Triple Zanji, I'm not too sure about this, but right now I play the 3 of it, and Zanji, like, just having a blanket way to attack over just about anything is solid. Like, it's hard to argue with. And, 1800, like, I built this deck so it has more beaters, so there's no spirit in this deck or anything, but, like, my goal was so that you can be able to at least relatively keep up beat stick-wise with, heroes, black wings, things like that. I know that they have like 2,000 summon or a 19 summon, but it's still, you're keeping yourself in the general ballpark. As opposed to summon my 500 attack spirit, hope you don't attack over it with literally anything. So, Triple Iroh, make your opponent afraid to set monsters. This is also pretty good. So if those don't know, is if it attacks a face down defense position monster, it destroys it and it doesn't even flip it. So it can be really solid against a lot of different things. It's great out to Raikou and things like that. I like Iroh in this deck quite a bit. Especially in Edison format, you would never even dream of playing 3 in like Redo or something like that. But just being able to counter things like Raikou, counter things like Spirit Reaper or something like that, it's so good. 2-hand, I'm not positive on this. I didn't want to play 3, and especially because like this is a deck that, as you can see, it's more about keeping as many monsters on the field as possible, like so that you can start triggering your effects, or like if you can top deck Grandmaster and get both guys into play at the same time, like it's solid. And hand kind of defeats that purpose. If it was just like a straight up, if you control another samurai, target a monster, destroy it once per turn, that'd be broken. But I mean, like, just having it take it off the field kind of hurts. But it's still just such a good answer to so many different monsters on the field that you can't necessarily run over if you don't have Zanji or whatever have you. Like, it's a good enough card that you'll still play it. Come on, Kamen, I don't know how you say it. But it's just for floodgates, just for different things they're going to play. Like, sometimes, like, I play Oppression in here, but there are times where, like, you need to summon that Grandmaster, and if your opponent has flipped the Oppression on you, you can just summon Common and pop it and get over it that way. It's a good card. Just target a face-up spell and trap. It's obviously not as good as Yaichi, but, like, if Yaichi targets something, they flip it, and now it's continuous, then you can out it with Common. They show you where it is, and then you pop it. So, not a bad card. And then the last monster is 1 Chancellor. I did say there's no Inishi in the deck, and I guess that's technically a lie, because that card's name is also Inishi. But you got my point there. And Chancellor's all right. This is the one spot I'm not too certain about. But you're special summoning it by banishing samurais from the graveyard. You pop a face-up monster. It's all right. It's not bad. It's definitely not broken. But between this and Great Shogun Shien, I'm kind of not sure which one to play. Because with Great Shogun Shien, you already have to have 2 in play, so it's going to be dead a lot more. So I'm not sure about it, but that's the monster count. We got 16 in here. And that honestly, it feels a little low sometimes, but you don't want to just like, if you open like 5 samurais, you're in real trouble. And samurais, for reference, as much as I love playing this deck in Edison, I have to be real, this is probably the worst top decking deck in all of Edison format. You have a bunch of monsters already on the play and you need protection. It's like, draw gateway. Oh no. Draw top deck common. Oh no. Like, if you have a bunch of continuous spells or a bunch of traps or whatever, and then you're like top decking Grandmaster, top deck Chancellor. Like, this deck is not a top decking deck at all. It always needs something else to go with it. That's why I've seen people play like Reckless, but I don't know. I don't like Reckless in the deck at all. Also, I've seen people try the Eatos D-Fissure build, and I definitely get it, but it is also like pretty inconsistent, so I go back and forth with that stuff too. I know that Samurai video got made like a year or so ago, and I kind of changed how a lot of people think about Sams and Edison, but I haven't quite gone to the dark side. You see the D-Fissures in the side deck, because it depends on the matchup whether it's amazing or useless. So I love that Eatos control build, I gotta say. Onto the spells, you got Triple Gateway, Triple United, nothing to see here. You got Triple Upstart. You know, giving your opponent 1,000 life isn't the best in this kind of a deck, but at least this variant plays more beat sticks than the Spirit and level 3 builds and all that shit. So Upstart's not the worst, and you know, again, 37 cards in a deck that already kind of struggles with consistency at points, so I like it. And then just pretty simple, Rhoda, heavy, nothing to explain there. Onto the traps. You got Double Bottomless. Currently maining it, just outs a lot of stuff, and it helps you keep up in those like beat stick for beat stick kind of games. Can help you get you ahead and whatnot. Like if your opponent has like a face down monster, you have an Iroh. They summon another monster, you just bottomless it, and it's like, you know, that Iroh, if you have another Sam in hand, that Iroh is going to get rid of that monster without them even being able to flip it. So it's just kind of about manipulating where your monsters are versus where their monsters are, and being able to get your effects going. Double Fiendish Chain, good out to Raikou, good out to Spirit Reaper, stuff like that. You know, if you don't have the Iroh plus another monster immediately to play. You know, and the big thing about this is that it stops attacks too. That's why I don't play Chalice over it. It's because, again, like I hate just using Fiendish Chain as a pseudo Scrap Iron Scarecrow. I really hate using it just for that purpose, but there are times where, like, if you really, really need that monster to stay in play for that one turn, and you feel like that can change your outlook on the game, like if you're able to keep that in play and summon another monster so you can maybe trigger both of their effects depending on what your two monsters are, sometimes that Fiendish Chain as an attack stopper is actually necessary. Unfortunately, I hate using it for that point. I love using it as an effect negation. I like keeping card a little more versatile than that, but you do what you have to do sometimes. But no joke, Scrap Iron Scarecrow would actually like not be a bad card for the deck. I'm not even kidding. Double Oppression. This can be a tempo card at points, believe it or not. Like if you summon your first two monsters, they set a monster and you attack for a turn, they try to special summon, you oppression it away, and then it's like summon a third monster, and you tempo people really quick with that. You know, it's kind of like in the Eatos Samurai deck that everybody memes, where it's like you have Eatos in hand, so that's 4,100, right? And then it's like attack. Your opponent sets a monster and passes. You can pulse it end phase, attack. Like you can just do dumb plays like that sometimes, and your opponent doesn't see the oppression coming. And the only card in the entire deck that it hits with you, well, is Grandmaster and then Chancellor. So while it hinders you at certain points, it will absolutely destroy your opponent unless they're playing value. But you know, I kind of favor my value matchup a little bit. Double Starlight. I love this card. I love recklessly playing into Torrential and Mirror Force and all that stuff. And like if you know your opponent's gonna like Lightning Vortex you or something, you just laugh at them in Starlight. You know, gets rid of heavy, gets rid of all that stuff. I love you have to play Starlight in Samurais unless you're playing the Solidarity build, which is a little outdated in my opinion. Unless you're doing that, you got to play Road. Got Mirror Force, Torrential, and Solemn. Nothing to see there. So that's the main deck on it. The extra deck is nothing special at all. It's just the Stardust and the Chimera Techs. I was playing tuners for a little bit, just trying it out, and then eventually I just took them all out. So you can't. I don't even think you can make the synchros now, but it legitimately does not matter. So side deck, got two Sidras, really good against pretty much everything. There's really no, I don't know how many matchups you would go, wow, this card sucks. If your opponent has like Sirocco Icarus and you just summon Cyber Dragon and swing, like they're gonna have to have the Kalute, and it's like, do you really want to burn your Kalute on a Cyber Dragon on turn one? I don't think so. It kind of puts them in wonky situations, and again, you can Chimera Tech people. Good card. One DD Crow, this probably should be two, but you never want to have two in your hand, you know what I mean? So I kind of like it just for the versatility and just finding a spot and hitting it. DD Crowing away the Miracle Fusion, or one of their Miracle Fusion targets, so that they have to make a suboptimal play with their Miracle because they can't stop it from resolving if it can. So I like Crow. Two D-Fissures, probably should be three, but right now it's just two, and it works really well. I love D-Fissure in this kind of a deck. It really does not hurt you. I don't even play Double Edge, so you don't like have to worry about that conflicting. You still have oppressions, you have defissures, you have all these like really solid control cards. And then, like, let's say you have defissure and you just set the rest of your back row. And I mean, it's going to make them tempted to heavy storm. And when they do that, you starlight, and then you got defissure, stardust, and it's pretty much impossible for them to answer at that point. One smashing round, just sometimes you need a way to get over big stuff. True Nade, good card. It kind of goes back to the play I was talking about earlier, where you can just tempo your opponent out of the game and, you know, attack, wait for them to set a bunch of back row. You're going to go True Nade to summon a third monster, and you just tempo them. Good card. MST, self-explanatory. 2 Mask Restrict. Kind of hard to find the right spots for this card at points. I mean, if you just go against a stereotypical, like, Frog Monarch deck, then okay, yeah, of course you throw that in. But, like, there are a lot of decks that play Monarchs, and they're not necessarily just based on Tribute Summoning alone, so you have to manage when you're siding this card very correctly. When you do, card's killer. 2 Pulling the Rug, kind of same philosophy. It's also not bad against, like, Gear Frame and Stratos, but I don't know. That's kind of up in the air. You got 2 Dust Tornado, really, really good card. Not much to explain. You got to keep up with the lack of MSTs that you have in this format. And then the Dust Shoot, just for when you go first. I lose a lot of die rolls for some reason, especially on Dueling Books, so it becomes more and more frustrating to have this card in your main deck. If you're going to go second, your opponent's going to set cards, and great, now you got a dead Dust Shoot. At least this you can, like, guarantee that you'll only have it if you're going first. But again, it probably should be in the main deck. It's just Dueling Book hates me. But yeah, that's the Samurai deck, you guys. I have some gameplays coming with it soon, so let me know what you think, and give me any suggestions, any feedback you'd like, and I will see you soon.